What's the deal? What's going on? It's your boy Jason Mike, Mr. Athletic over everything for no hobbies, only obsessions. As you can see here, you can pick these up on the website, athletikovereverything.com. Now, I wanted to talk about the Antonio Brown situation, and I want to touch on a point that hasn't been discussed, and this is the reality of what actually happened. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers knew who they had picked up on their team. They 100% understood. Tom Brady understood. They understood that they may not feel he was the most stable, but he was still ultimately super talented. And Tom Brady was so much, was able to control him in a sense to where he was able to keep him on a straight path. Arians never wanted him, right? And I believe everyone knew that. Tom Brady knew that. Antonio knew that. The organization as a whole knew that. But Tom stepped up and vouched for him and said, you know, I can keep this guy on a straight and narrow. We can win a championship with him. So they win the championship. Antonio's a free agent. Now, with him being able to come back, have a decent couple of games, he thought he would probably be able to pursue a bigger contract in the offseason. No other team really put anything out there for him. He was able to secure like a $5.8 million non-guaranteed contract with the Bucs. The Bucs know that a talent like him should be between $15 to $25 million a season. They're getting this talent for $5.8 million, and it wasn't all guaranteed. A bunch of other players signed contracts very similar. Ndamukong Suh signed a very similar contract in terms that all of his money wasn't guaranteed. Ndamukong Suh had a very, very good season, lived up to their expectations, and they did something for him that they should have did for Antonio that if they would have, they may still be playing right now. The season goes on. Antonio's doing okay. He gets injured, right? Through the course of him getting injured, he does the thing with the chef. The chef tells on him. He winds up getting suspended for 3 games, right? In that time, Godwin gets hurt, out for the season. So Antonio understands that, hey, the team is mad at me. If Godwin wouldn't have been hurt, they may have cut him. But since he got hurt, they needed him, right? But Antonio is still hurt. What was supposed to happen in this situation? They knew Antonio was hurt. Antonio was clearly hurt. They just lost their second best wide receiver. Antonio had no business on the field. It's not like he was going after a 1,000-yard season or some records to help, push his overall career totals. Antonio would have been perfectly fine if they said, hey, man, we're shutting you down for the next 2 games so you can fully heal up for this playoff run. We're going to go ahead and guarantee you that little $1 million. If they would have guaranteed him that $1 million, they would still be playing right now. But no, what they did was, I believe Antonio's people went to the Bucs front office and said, hey, man, could y'all guarantee the rest of that money? And I also know why Antonio chose to go off with 1 game remaining. So with all this being said, he's like, hey, I need X amount of this, need that for these incentives. He thinks that he has the Bucs by the balls. The Bucs played hardball. They should have said, listen, we know you're still injured. So instead of telling this man he needs, 15 catches or whatever the case may be, they should have said, listen, we know you got suspended for the vaccination thing. We wanted to get rid of you, but when Chris Godwin went down, he thought he had the leverage to the point where they're not going to sacrifice me getting further hurt just to prove a point, and they did. I believe they should have 100% rested him those last 2 games and guaranteed him that money at the end. He wasn't playing for numbers per se. He was playing trying to get $1 million. It's not like he was really out there trying to, catch Cooper Kupp or anything. You know what I'm saying? So this whole situation could have been avoided if they would have done what they did with Ndamukong Suh. they guaranteed Ndamukong Suh's incentives, even though I don't think he reached some of them, and they did it because he was the exemplary player and teammate this year, which I understand. But for the sake of winning the Super Bowl, the reason why you brought him there should have been the same reason why you should have been thinking along the lines of, hey, he's a volatile player. We know he's not 100% stable, so be it. Let's make sure we have all of our weapons that we do have remaining for the Super Bowl run. They 100% should have rested Antonio Brown. He had no business on the field. Now, what he did after that, I can't justify. But if you know what you're getting into, you play by those rules. You know those type of talents. Those are going to be the guys that come to the meetings late. They're going to sleep in meetings. They're going to do all this stuff. But you get in bed with them because of their talent. This was clearly a situation where the Bucs knew what kind of person he was. They should have never put him in that position. They had the option to guarantee the rest of that contract. They could have sat him for those last 2 games. And the other reason why I believe he was really upset was because he was trying to get those incentives in that first half. He was trying to get all of those incentives done in that game so he could rest for the final game so he could go into the playoff game healthy. That was just a take that I thought that I hadn't heard anyone mention. But yeah, so that's how I view it and that's how I see it. No hobbies, only obsessions. This is Jason Mike. Until next time, later.